What is up, everybody? This is Investors Dive Live on the weekly batch call we do. We're excited to be here. We got Shaun Young. What's up, brother? And we got Zeeshan. How you guys doing?
What's up? What's up?
Awesome.
Love it. So, hey, for everybody tuning in, why should you watch today? Virtual assistants are key to real estate investing. You really need them to help you grow your business, especially for people that are doing this part-time, people that don't have all the time to do the work that a virtual assistant can help you out with. So we got Shaun on here. I bring him on here once a month. And Shaun, can you kind of tell us a little bit about why virtual assistants? Why is it important?
100%, guys. If you're out here trying to do the heavy lifting in your business by yourself, it's not going to be long before you figure out that it's tough to do, especially if you have a 9-to-5. Spending the dedicated hours that it takes to do the tasks that it takes for your virtual assistant to do is going to be nearly impossible, especially if you're competing against those who have a virtual assistant. So guys, you need to have at least one virtual assistant. And my suggestion is start doing your business first. Do your business for at least a month or two, get some reps in, make some phone calls, go through some of the tasks that you're going to want your VA to do, so that once you do hire that virtual assistant, you'll be much better at managing them at those tasks.
100%. Yeah. So we have our guest on here. We got Zeeshan. He's one of my virtual assistants. I don't even like the word virtual assistant, to be honest.
Indeed. I hate that word.
I like just saying employee, you work with us. So Zeeshan, kind of tell me, before we kind of dive into what virtual assistants or employees that live out overseas do, kind of tell us how you even got into the business. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I got into the business in August or September last year. Basically, I got a person who referred to me, hey, I have this client and I don't have time. See if you want to make some money. This is how it goes. So I didn't knew anything, literally anything about the real estate or about doing any kind of online business. I was doing my job here with the World Health Organization, and I was pretty cool with it. And so I got connection here. The person who was based in Illinois and who was trying to start the business in real estate or in affiliate marketing. His ambition was to make some extra cash doing any type of online business. So he got, at that point, he spent over 15 grand purchasing different courses about real estate, about affiliate marketing and stuff. His name was Dwayne Thompson. So Dwayne told me that this, and I want to make money online. So I don't know, I'm not so much tech savvy. See if you can help me. So I just said to him that, hey, I am new. I'm a tech savvy guy and know, I'm very good at different things, technology and etc., different softwares, but I have not done this before. See if I would learn it through your premium contents that you paid for. After a month or so, I'll let you know that, hey, this is how it goes and this is what I can do for you. He agreed to it, and we agreed on a payment plan. So after a while, we were able to start doing things that he thought, even though we launched a campaign from a CRM, an SMS drip campaign, and when he saw that people are responding to drip campaigns, and he saw that there is a potential opportunity, this man is learning something, I was not able to do these things, and so I would go ahead with it. And after the 3 months, he kind of lost motivation because he was paying for different softwares, and at that point we were not able to get a deal. So after that, when I was not able to at that point, he said that what I'm going to do is learn it and master it myself. And I keep trying learning from the free online resources and contents, that what are things and how I should learn. At that point, I got connected. Nathan was doing a 30-day challenge at that point,
Right.
and I got connected, fortunately, with Nathan, and here I am.
Well, that's
Nice.
power. Zeeshan, very smart. You're obviously a hard worker. So as you can see, everybody that's watching this, like, just because someone is in the United States doesn't mean they don't have the talent, the ability to get it done, right? There's many investors all over the world that are outside of the States that are helping, that are getting deals, right? So that's what I wanted to show everyone. Zeeshan, thanks for sharing us your story. So Shaun, I know you have a virtual assistant company. Kind of tell people how they can work with that if they want to go that route.
100%, guys. Guys, I have a professionally trained virtual assistant company that is based in the Philippines. We are based overseas. We're headquartered here in Atlanta, Georgia. But just like Nathan said, guys, if you are looking for a professionally trained, monitored, and managed virtual assistant, guys, hit us up. We are at REI worldsolutions.com. Guys, give us a shot. We would love to take care of you, help you grow your business. And all the things we're discussing, they will be things that you guys can look forward to when you come on as a client as well.
Awesome. Now, I guess there's two options, right? People can go and look for their own virtual assistant, whether it's Fiverr, Upwork, Facebook groups, or they can just go and get a done for you approach with you, and then you manage the whole thing, correct?
100%. I'm glad you pointed that out, because those are two totally different processes. And a lot of folks fail because they try to, again, do it themselves without having all the components in place that will make that union successful. So they'll just go out and hire someone, and just like Zeeshan said, they'll just kind of have an expectation that their new employee or their new virtual assistant are going to be able to accomplish particular things. But without training, without ensurement of that, you're just wishing and hoping for that and throwing money down the trash.
Yeah. And I've used virtual assistant companies that, like, years before. I haven't actually worked with you specifically because I feel like since I've been investing for quite a while, I've actually been able to find ones through networking like Zeeshan. And not everyone can do that, right? Not everyone can find those top A players through their network and through networking. But, you know, if you are attached in the game for a while, then yes, it can be potentially possible. But at the same time, having something like your business, it's hands off, right? So you give them the list, they take care of everything. So you don't need to worry about it, right?
100%. Yeah, they handle everything, guys. Our VAs can handle literally everything, from pulling the list, doing market research, loading those lists into your dialers, managing your text campaigns, your voicemails, follow-ups, sending out agreements. Guys, the list goes on. It's really limitless. Just like Nathan is saying, when you find quality folks or find a quality process and you realize that other folks need that, then you do what I did, which is create an agency to provide that for folks.
I love it. And we're on the batch call right this week. So everything that Shaun's talking about. So what I wanted to go over today, everybody, now that we kind of have a good understanding of when you should get a virtual assistant, when you should start working and bringing them into your company. Now I kind of want to show you the strategy that I use. It's called the painless wholesaling method. So I'm going to show everybody how I work with Zeeshan and where we're at in our process and how I'm having him find deals that meet the criteria of top buyers that we've connected with. All right. Here is a little process that I made for Zeeshan as the leads manager. So it starts with number one. Number one is to start with the criteria of the buyers that we have. And right now, Zeeshan's actually focusing on Atlanta itself. I have a lot of buyers, but I say, hey, Zeeshan, if you want to crush the game, you got to master one market. So right now, Zeeshan is looking in Atlanta for criteria that hit these hedge funds that we have. So he knows now exactly where he's looking. Right now, we're focusing specifically in the Atlanta area. As you know, guys, if you try to target all these areas, oh man, you're going to be all over the place. It's going to be extremely difficult to build those relationships with the hedge funds. And we're not only targeting hedge funds. So if we happen to come across a property in East Cobb that hits our buyers' criteria, we're going to reach out to them too. So we have specific buyers who we work with and we really enjoy working with because they're responsive, they're quick. So what we're trying to do is build relationships with people who are quick, are responsive, and they will answer us. And we can bring them opportunities daily, make offers, and they can give us a yes or a no. So now that we have the criteria, it's time to find some deals. Now, Zeeshan's got a couple different ways that he looks for deals, whether it's JVing, on market. But using Batch, you can actually target, if you want to do off-market marketing with BatchLeads, you can actually target a specific area with the criteria that your buyer wants. So if I went to Atlanta, I can specifically go to Henry County. For example, they want minimum of 3.2, year built. They want nothing older, let's just say 1950, and max square footage. They want at least 1,000. So what we're able to do is put the criteria of what they're looking for, and then we can go put more additional filters on it. Like, okay, we want to make sure we're talking to people that at least have 50% equity, and we want people that are absentee owners that are out of state. So then you can apply this and you can see, okay, in Henry County, there's 6,596 records of people that are absentee owners out of state. And you can pull this list and you can skip trace it, you can text it, you can cold call it, you can do whatever you want for marketing. Our strategy that I like to use is I like to target ones that are on market and see if there's any potential for me to, make an offer that could get accepted. And I look for properties that are distressed. But that's kind of one of the first strategies that I like to use. And then off-market marketing is next. So that is how you can target marketing according to your buyer's criteria. So now it's analyzing is the next thing, and then make offers. And if their offer is accepted, or they have someone send you the property to negotiate it, and then you can lock it up. So that's the process. I think it's efficient, it's effective. Yes, it requires a lot of offers, just like everything else does. But if Zeeshan runs into someone who is motivated and he doesn't know how to get it done, obviously I'm there to help him out. So now we're going to go to analyzing the deal. So Zeeshan actually has a property that he wants me to look at it. So Zeeshan sent me this one. He said this one's a little bit tricky. So let's take a look at this deal. I'll show everyone here. I have what's called an offer calculator. It literally shows you what offer to make on every deal that you come across, whether you need to do a wholesale, a novation, a burr, rental, creative. It all calculates. You can put all the information out here, and then it comes out with a spreadsheet that you're able to show this to the seller, and the seller denies your cash offer. Then you're like, well, hey, that's not the only way I can buy your house. You can actually flip it if you don't want me to buy it. Have you thought about flipping it? They're like, nah, I ain't got no money. You're like, okay, well, we can list this and find a buyer on the market, which is a novation. They say yes or no, owner carry back, or you can just list it as is and just tell them, hey, I'm not going to do novation. I'll just push you in touch with one of my agents that I know. So these are the options that this calculator formulates. So the first thing that Zeeshan does is he's going to see if it makes sense for a cash offer, because we always offer cash first. So we're going to look at this property. The first thing I look at is the Zestimate. I'm just going to look at the Zestimate, and this makes it a little easy to see. We try and get an estimate going. So we go to Zillow, says this. I want to know what Redfin does, and what this does is this averages out the comp. So this one says estimated offer. That's estimated offer by Open Door. So that's not necessarily the ARV. That's just their cash offer. You see what I'm doing, Zeeshan? I'm just putting in the estimates to see what these services think they're worth. And then let's check out what Batch says. And this says it is 348. So we're just averaging these three to see what this is. It's the quickest way that I can know of to just add these up, divided by 3, average. This is the ARV according to these softwares. Now, you could say this guy's just asking for retail. The next thing that I try to do is I click this in Zillow, and also on Batch, you can check too. You can check for comparables, but let's just do this super quick. Let's look at this one. I look at for sale right now. I don't look at sold because I want to know what's for sale right now, what's not moving or what is moving. So this is listed for 7 days. If it was listed for 170 days, that would let us know they're overpriced. But if I wanted to be really quick about this, I could call the agent and just be like, hey, I'm thinking about listing a property that I'm about to flip in the area. Just wanted to call and see if you're getting a lot of activity. That's how I would know quickly if they're like, yeah, man, I think we listed it too high. Then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. This is a little bit bigger than ours. It's not even selling at 320. It's probably in similar condition. Doesn't look terrible. So I'll look at this one, 335. Okay, decent condition, nothing crazy, 335. Let's see how long it's been on there, 48 days. So what we're seeing here is about 320 to 335 is what people are listing their homes for, similar to ours, that don't look necessarily flipped. I'm not seeing anything right now that's listed that looks completely flipped. So these are the for sale information I have. These aren't flips. So it's hard to determine like, okay, what is really the ARV, or are people even really flipping houses that much in this area? Like, is that something that's really happening? So let's see if anything's sold in this area the last 30 days. This one looks like a flip though. So it's got a pool. So you got to take that out because ours doesn't have a pool, correct?
Yeah.
So you got to take those things into consideration and see how much land it had. So let's just say, okay, it is worth 385 flip, but we can't say that because it has a pool. So let's take off 10,000 for a pool. So the guy, he said he wants to sell at 275, right, Zeeshan?
Yes.
So in order for us to get the property looking like this one, pictures would be great, but let's just assume that the kitchen and the bathrooms need to be updated. So we're going to go to a medium rehab, just a medium rehab at $24 a square foot. It's about 1,600 square feet, our property. So it's about a $40,000 rehab, and we want to make $15,000 as a wholesale fee. So if those numbers worked out, the flipper is going to be negative if he buys it from us at 290, because we get it at 275, we wholesale for 15, so we got to wholesale to someone to 290. So Zeeshan, what do we got to do if the numbers don't make sense here?
Yeah, we got to renegotiate the price with the seller. If we're able to renegotiate the price, present our numbers to the seller that, hey, this is where we are, and we need to be at that point. If you're interested, then we can move forward.
Exactly. So Zeeshan, what we're looking at here is we got to get this property to get the flipper that we wholesale to in the green, or at least the yellow. It depends on the flipper you're working with. Some are cool with 10%. Most right now want to make 15%. So there's a couple things we can manipulate. We can change the rehab cost. We can say, it's actually not 38. It's actually 30. So if you know that it's 30, you just change the number and you're like, okay, this is actually going to be 30. If you know your buyer is like, hey, he's actually can do it in 4 months. He's really good at rehabs. and he's an agent, so he doesn't have to pay the other side of commission. Now you're starting to be able to work in more spread for him because you know what he's able to do. But still, it doesn't work. So we know we need to negotiate this thing even further down for our buyer to get into the yellow. And if we want him in the green, we know that we need to get him even lower than that. So this is a deal. This would be a deal if all these things if it's true that he doesn't have to pay on the side of listing it, if he can take 4 months and it's 30K. Now, if any of these things are off, if the buyer you're working with thinks he's going to take 6 months and he's not an agent and he's like, nah, bro, this thing is going to cost me 45,000, then your numbers are jacked up. So again, that's why me and Zeeshan, we teach people you need to work closely with your buyers or you're wasting your time. Well, Zeeshan, that is the process that I would follow. And one thing I'll say before I go more into novations is like, you want to start baby steps, right? Like if you're pitching novations and creative financing, like right off the bat, like it's probably going to be very difficult for someone to trust you or to get a deal, right? So what it starts with is a cash offer, right? It starts with a cash offer that's low. If they're not open to it, which 90% of the time they're not, just because you have to find that specific situation.
Yep.
Now, if they're not open to the cash offer, then you want to educate yourself on novations, creative financing, doing those other strategies. Now, I've been doing this for quite a while. Sean's been doing this for quite a while. You're not going to be able to just go in there immediately and pitch that and get it accepted unless the seller like really trusts you. So what I would recommend is link up with people that know how to do those strategies in your community, that know how to do creative or novations, that you can say, hey, I have a motivated seller. They didn't accept my cash offer. Can you help me take this to the finish line? And I think that would be the best strategy if you're kind of newer to this. Because if you try to eat it all, if you try to understand it all at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. So stick with the cash. Know that if they say no, that is not the end. Ask them, just say, hey, are you open to any other options to if we can get you close to your price? And if they're really motivated, if you have that motivation, then link up with someone and, or, there's tons of coaching programs out there that teach people how to improve on their investing skills. Continuous education. That's my answer.
100%, man. Good answer, man. I like that, Nathan. Good answer and great advice to the audience as well.
Because, hey, Sean, we've been there. When we first started, you want to learn everything you can, but
you're trying to take it all in.
That's right. That's right. So everybody, it is important to practice those, but don't feel like immediately you have to master it yet. It takes time.
100%.
And for everybody watching, hit up my man Sean, reiworldsolutions.com if you're looking for a virtual assistant. I know he's got some awesome players over there and they come trained. Yeah. And that's kind of like exactly what I did with Zeeshan. Is what I recommend everyone do to really help their employees level up is show them, help them, teach them. And the cool thing about doing this batch call, Sean, is I dual purpose it, man. Like what I'm showing everyone here today with Zeeshan, I got to show Zeeshan anyway, so might as well do it on the call.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap up today.
See you next time, guys.
See you guys later.